Chapter 9, Assembling the Right Team. In this chapter, we are going to talk about the team. A lot of owners spend enormous amounts of time thinking about the design, the finishes, and the budget, but not enough time thinking deeply about the people involved. And the reality is, even a strong project can become unstable with the wrong team around it, because construction is not just about materials and drawings. It's about communication, leadership, coordination, decision-making, problem-solving, and trust. The people you choose will shape your experience almost as much as the project itself, sometimes more. Most owners do not fully understand the team structure. One thing I see all the time is owners assuming the contractor handles absolutely everything automatically. And depending on the project, sometimes owners do need strong contractor leadership. But construction projects often involve far more people than owners realize. For example, architects, designers, structural engineers, civil engineers, MEP engineers, permit consultants, surveyors, project managers, owners' representatives, subcontractors, special inspectors, utility representatives, lenders, material suppliers, and of course, contractors. Each person has a different role, different responsibilities, different priorities, and different perspectives on the project. That is why understanding the structure of the team matters, because unclear roles create confusion quickly. The wrong team creates project instability. One of the hardest things about construction is this: problems usually do not show up immediately. Sometimes the wrong hire feels fine in the beginning. The communication sounds good, the personality feels confident, the pricing feels attractive, but later the weaknesses start surfacing. There's poor organization, slow communication, lack of planning, weak supervision, limited systems, overpromising, inexperience, poor communication, and now you feel emotionally trapped because construction has already started. That is why team selection deserves far more attention than most owners give it, because once the project begins moving, changing people becomes difficult, stressful, and of course, expensive. You are not just hiring skill. Owners often focus almost entirely on technical skill, and yes, technical skill matters. But construction projects require much more than technical ability. They also require good communication, organization, problem solving, leadership, responsiveness, transparency, and emotional stability under pressure. Because projects never go perfectly. There will be problems, there will be unexpected issues, there will be pressure. So the real question is, how does this person or company handle complexity when things become difficult? That matters enormously, because some teams create calm under pressure and some teams create more chaos. The owner needs someone protecting their interests. This is a big mindset shift that I want you to understand. Every person involved in construction naturally sees the project through their own role. The architect focuses on design, the engineer focuses on technical requirements, the contractor focuses on execution, the subcontractors focus on their trade work, the city focuses on compliance. But many owners do not realize they still need someone helping protect the owner's overall interest strategically, meaning who is helping the owner evaluate risk, who is helping organize communication, who is helping track budget alignment, who is helping identify scope gaps, who is helping clarify expectations, who is helping the owner slow down before expensive decisions are made. That role matters more than most people realize, especially on larger or more complex projects. Cheap teams can create expensive projects. This part can be difficult emotionally because everyone wants to feel financially responsible. But one thing I've learned is this: cheap teams often create expensive projects later. Not always, but very often. Low pricing sometimes comes from weak planning, weak supervision, inexperience, incomplete scope understanding, limited systems, or underestimating the project complexity. And when that happens, the owner often pays later through delays, corrections, rework, stress, miscommunication, or change orders. Now, this does not mean the most expensive team is automatically the best either. The goal is not simply spending more. The goal is alignment, capability, and clarity. Red flags owners should watch for. There are certain warning signs I always encourage owners to pay attention to early. For example, people who avoid direct answers, people who rush major decisions, people who seem disorganized during the planning phase, people who dismiss concerns instead of addressing them early, people who overpromise unrealistic timelines, people who give vague proposals, people who struggle to explain process, people who seem difficult to communicate with before the project even starts. The planning phase is usually the easiest the relationship will ever be. If communication already feels difficult early, that usually does not improve once pressure increases during construction. If communication already feels difficult early, that usually does not improve once pressure increases during construction. Good teams create stability. Strong teams usually create a feeling of calm organization. You feel informed, questions get answered clearly, expectations feel documented, problems are discussed honestly, the process just feels structured. Communication feels proactive instead of reactive. And most importantly, you feel like people are working towards the same outcome instead of pulling in different directions. That alignment changes the emotional experience of construction. Because construction itself already carries enough pressure, the team should reduce unnecessary chaos, not increase it. Experience matters, but relevant experience matters more. Not all experience translates equally. Someone may have years of construction experience, but very little experience with your specific type of project. An ADU is different from a luxury remodel. A commercial project is different from a custom home. An occupied remodel is different from new construction. A hillside property is different from a flat lot. A high-end client experience is different from basic production work. That is why relevant experience matters, not just years in the industry. You want people who understand the actual complexity of the specific project you are building. Your team should match your project goals. This is another area owners sometimes overlook. Different teams are built for different types of projects. Some teams are built for speed, some are built for volume, others are built for high-end craftsmanship, some are built for investor efficiency, some are built for heavy project management, while others are built for design-focused work, and others are built for simpler production systems. That is why team fit matters. The right team for someone else's project may not be the right team for yours. The team should align with your goals, communication style, expectations, and project complexity. The best owners stay engaged. Hiring a strong team does not mean disappearing from the project completely. You still need to stay engaged, not micromanaging, but engaged. There is a difference. Strong owners ask questions, review updates, clarify expectations, document decisions, track major changes, and stay connected to the process, because great teams will still need owner leadership and decision-making at key moments. Projects work best when the owner and team operate with clear alignment and communication. Trust your instincts when something feels off. If something consistently feels unclear early, pay attention to that feeling. If communication feels confusing, pay attention. If expectations feel vague, pay attention. If the process feels chaotic during planning, pay attention, because owners often ignore early warning signs because they are emotionally eager to move forward. And later they realize the problems were visible much earlier. Again, no team is perfect, but clarity, organization, honesty, and communication should feel present before major commitments are made. What a strong project team feels like. A strong team usually creates confidence without creating pressure. You feel informed, you feel heard, you feel guided, you understand the process. The communication feels organized. Questions are welcomed, problems are addressed directly, expectations are documented, and as a result, the project feels emotionally lighter because structure exists around it. That is the power of the right team. Final thought. The one thing to remember from this chapter is that construction projects are built by people before they are built with materials. The quality of your team will shape the quality of your experience. Choose people who create clarity. Choose people who communicate well, who understand your goals, and who bring structure instead of chaos. And most importantly, choose people you trust to navigate problems honestly when challenges appear, because challenges will appear. The right team helps you move through them intelligently. Thank you for listening to Before You Build It. If you want additional planning tools, team evaluation resources, or guidance for your project, visit goeasyproject.com/beforeyoubuildit. And if you're preparing an ADU, remodel, addition, rebuild, or major construction project, you can also schedule a complimentary project strategy session